Today we're going to be talking about how to make the Handwriting Without Tears version of capital letters. We'll be using our pieces. We have the big line and we have the little line. As you can see, they're different. We have the big curve and we have the little curve. And with these four pieces, we can make any of the capital letters there are. And Handwriting Without Tears goes in a special order too. It is not going in alphabetical order. So I'm going to go in the order that they teach the kids to write their words, their letters. The first one is one of the easiest letters. And if you can see this yellow smiling face, that's where a lot of our letters start. So we're going to start with our big line down. And then we make our little line across the bottom. There is our capital L. That's the first letter in Handwriting Without Tears. One of the easiest ones to make. We go from L. Our next one, we use the big line down, putting it the smiley face. And for this one, we need 1, 2, 3 little lines. One across the top, one across the middle, and one across the bottom. We have our letter E. And even easier is with our 2 little lines, we have our letter F. Now, once again, we still have our big line down, but this time we're going to use just one little line and another big line. So one little line across the middle, and then on the other side of our little line, one more big line. We have our letter H. This is the order it goes in to make it easy for the kids. Not doing any curves yet, those are coming soon. This is where it starts to go a little tricky, because this letter has the big line, but does not start at smiley face. It starts right in the middle. Big line straight down. Little line across the top. We have our capital T. It looks a little different. It looks very long compared to what we're used to, but this is the easiest way to help kids out. And to make another letter, using those, we'll add one more little line across the bottom. We have our capital I. Now we start to introduce the curves. So what we start with is the letter U. Letter U goes a little bit dense using just the big lines and the little lines. Capital U, we would start at the smiley face, go down, turn, and come up. The next letter is C. C is just one piece. But we don't start at the smiley face again. Another slightly tricky. We use our single big curve to write our letter C. And to make a different letter, we add another curve. It's too big for on our box, but it's okay. We have our O. And I'm going to slide it the other way now because we have to make a third letter using most of these pieces. But we're adding on another one. We have our O, but if we add our tail, our little line, we have our Q. Tricky part about the Q is trying to find the right spot to put the little line. And here we go. This is one of the trickier ones because it does not look like the lowercase letter. We have one big curve, one little line going up from the bottom, and one little line right across the middle there. There is our capital G. It looks a little different, but it's the easiest way to help the kids learn how to write. Now we're getting really curvy. And we're getting really big. We're going to take one big curve going this way. And one big curve right up here. It's hard to see, so I'll do that with our little curves too. So we have one little curve, two little curves. One going one way, one going the other. There is our S. And thankfully, the lowercase and uppercase, capital and the lowercase, they look the same. Our next handwriting without tears letter, we're going to use these pieces again. One big line coming down, one little curve, and one big line across the top. We have our capital J. Yes, it looks very long. Now it gets a little easier. We go back to using our styling paste. We start with a big line, and then we add a big curve to make our capital D. Our uppercase D, our capital D. We're going to keep that big line and switch out the curve for a little curve. We have our capital P. But what if we add another little curve? We have our capital B. And I'm going to take this away again. And instead of a little curve, I'm going to use a little line. Now we have our capital R. Moving on to the next set of tricky letters. We're going to start again at our smiley face with a big line. But now we're using our sliding letters. We're going to have one little line sliding down from here, stopping at the middle. One little line starting at the middle, sliding down to the bottom. You can always overlap these to cover the holes, but when you're writing it, you're not going to have those holes anyway. We have our capital K. Now this one has sliding lines, and it does not start in the middle. So we're going to start right. It does start in the middle. So we're going to start with our big line in the middle, sliding down to the bottom. Frog jump back up to the top. Another big line sliding down to the bottom. And then right in the middle, we put a little line. There is our capital A. We go out from capital A and move on to two that are kind of the same. Let me make sure I have all of my pieces. I'm going to need a lot to do this. I have them. We're going to start at the smiley face. One big line straight down. Jump back to the top. One big line sliding to the bottom. As you can see, when we slide, slides don't go straight down. Slides go out on a diagonal. This is where it gets tricky. We're going to be a big line sliding up. And then one more big line straight down. There is our capital M. So we're going to change things a little bit. I'm going to use 3 big lines instead of 4. So we have one big line straight down. Jump back up to the top. One big line sliding down. Jump up to the top over here. And one big line straight down. Our skinny capital N. Now, smiley face again. 2 big lines. One big line sliding down this way. and then one big line sliding back up. We have our skinny letter V. Almost to the end. Once again, we need 4 big lines starting at the smiley face. Big line sliding down, not straight, but sliding. Big line sliding up. Wait a minute, that's a V. Nope, not yet. We're not finished. Big line sliding down again. We're running out of room, but it's okay. Big line sliding back up. We have our capital W. It won't look that funny when you go to write it, because you'll have plenty of space on your papers. Now, this is a fun one. 2 big lines, 2 sliding big lines, starting at the smiley face. 1 line sliding down here, and jump back up to the top over here. Our X. X's are fun. Now this one, it's a little tricky because it's not the way I was taught to do it, but it's okay. We're going to start at the smiley face with our little line sliding down. And we jump back up to the top with our big line sliding down. We have our capital Y. And now for our last letter in Handwriting Without Tears and our last letter in the alphabet, we're going to use 3 big lines. 1 across the top, 1 sliding down, 1 sliding across again. Sometimes it looks better if you use little lines for the straight lines. Little line, let's start you over here. Big line sliding down, little line across there. There's our Z. You can write any capital letters using these 4 pieces. Bye, guys.